Good morning, everybody. Mark Finden here in the home weather office on this Thursday morning. It's now the 13th day of March 2025, and this is the morning briefing coming to you from the home weather office. And as I look out the window, it's cloudy. There was some rain that went by about an hour or so ago, and we will continue to see a chance of showers and maybe even a thunderstorm later on this afternoon. It was a rather busy night. Had a nice little cold front race through the area, just about right on time as the models were expecting. And with that, we did see the temperature drop and those snow levels drop. During the day yesterday, the snow level was up around 5,500 to 6,000 feet. And then during the night last night, everything dropped. And this morning, many lower elevations are waking up to some snow, and I'll show you more on that in a minute. And we also have the chance of a little bit of snow at maybe even lower elevations first thing tomorrow morning. What I want to start with, however, this morning is I'm going to go back in time. This is covering the time between about 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon and up to a little before 6 o'clock. So this is the radar out of Sacramento. And what I want to pay attention to is this line right here, this little line that races across the screen. That is the cold front. Out ahead of it, the air was relatively warm. Behind it, the air is relatively cool. And this is what went across the area and provided some really heavy rain for a little bit. Also out ahead of it, the winds are rather gusty, but as soon as that front went through, we saw the winds die down rather noticeably. And we also saw the temperature drop off. And so as that line was going up the hill, the snow level was dropping. So that's what you had go by your house yesterday afternoon. And yesterday evening. And for those of you on the west slope where we saw rain throughout much of the day yesterday, let's say around Pollock Pines and up in areas along Highway 20, you were seeing rain yesterday. And then tonight, or today, last night, you did get that changeover to snow with that colder air coming in. I want to show you more on how that looked as it went on by. And with that, I'm going to go to Mezzo West, which is a great site for observations. I'm going to pick this site right here. This is Sac International Airport, SMF. So let's click on that, and I'm going to look at, this is the last 24 hours. Let me just scooch this up a little bit. Right here. There we go. All right, so the red line here is the temperature. And so for a while yesterday afternoon, the temperature was above 60 degrees or right around 60. But right here is where that cold front went through. And you see the temperature drop right here going from the mid 50s down to around 52. And then during the night, the temperature dropped down into the mid 40s. It wasn't just a temperature drop. The other interesting thing that happens when a cold front goes through is you get a temperature, I should say a pressure drop. Now this is the 2 meter pressure, and the red line is the altimeter setting. And you can see how it dropped off, and as soon as the cold front goes through, it pops right back on up. Back in the day, we used to have recording barographs. So we'd have a 7-day chart, and the chart would just gradually spin around a drum, and you'd see the trace over the course of 7 days. And I'm guessing those things still exist. I haven't seen one in a long time, at least not one that was functioning. But yeah, we used to have those back in the weather lab, and we'd see the 7-day trace, and this is what you would see, the pressure falling, and as soon as the cold front goes through, the pressure rising back up. Now, I was thinking about this as I was looking at this. So you have an altimeter setting here of 29.74, and then as the cold front goes through, it's down to 29.64, actually 29.62. I was thinking about this because it might be a good question for Juan Brown, because for aviation, altimeter setting tells you where the ground is. And what difference does it make if it's a tenth of an inch off? So in other words, let's say you set your altimeter setting at 2974, but by the time you reach the airport, the cold front's going through and it's 2962. Good question for Juan Brown about what sort of changes they make in altimeter settings as weather changes as you approach an airport as a cold front is going through, like something like that. So yeah, good question for Juan Brown or other aviation experts that I know visit this site. I want to show you what it looks like this morning in El Dorado County. Now for these images, I'm at the Z Realty Group site, and that's who provides these. And if you are in El Dorado County and you don't know about these webcams, these are really, really helpful because they've got a few of them. So yeah, I Google Pollock Pines webcams, weather cams. So that's the way it looks in Pollock Pines this morning. Nice snow on the trees. It's tough to tell how much snow that might be. It might be 6 inches or so. And if you come down the hill toward Camino, there's also some snow here. So a little farther down the hill, you can see less snow, but still some footprints in the snow, maybe a couple of inches of snow. In Placerville, let's see what it looks like on Main Street in Placerville. Main Street in Placerville looks like it's just wet. So we didn't get snow here. There may have been a snow mix, and there is also a camera at Apple Hill. And as you can see, it's still snowing in Apple Hill right now, sticking to the pavement. So right around Apple Hill and Camino is where you get that change from rain to snow. There's also another one here at Pony Express, which was also a good one. And is it going to come up? Now, as soon as I say it's a good one, it doesn't want to come up. Either way, it is nice to see the snow in Pollock Pines. I think this is the best snow we have seen in Pollock so far this year, and we will see a little bit more during the day today and again during the day tomorrow. So with that, let's go to what is going to happen. All right. Going to the HRRR, and I found a feature last night on this where I can zoom in on this a little bit more. So yeah, it's a nice feature to have. I can zoom in a little bit more. Maybe it's easier for you to see. This is as we go through the day today. And let me see, the only problem is I can't see the time at the same time. This is around midday today, more showers going through the valley. The snow levels will stay about where they are, right around 3,000 to 3,200 feet, maybe 2,800 feet. As we go into the late afternoon, a couple of showers, and wouldn't be surprised if one of these is a thunderstorm that pops up. So some brief downpours here and there. But as you can see, most areas will be dry, but then you'll have those occasional downpours. This is around 6 o'clock this evening. And then as we head into the night, everything dries up. Now the other question that comes up is, what's it going to be like for the eclipse tonight? So this is about the time the eclipse is happening. I think the best case that we may be seeing tonight is maybe some high thin clouds, because we have the next area coming in, and usually out ahead of it you have a shield of high clouds. It's certainly not going to be clear skies, although those of you on the east side of the Sierra will have a better chance of perhaps seeing it. So here comes the next area of rain, and this is what we were looking at for the day on Friday. Now I'm going to stop this here at 4 a.m. I mentioned this yesterday. You'll notice where these areas of blue are. So right here, that's snow on Mount Diablo. This is snow in Lake County. And as we go through the next couple of hours, so 6 a.m., this, I know it's tough to see with all the green on it, that's Sacramento County, this is San Joaquin County. So that line right there is about where Highway 49 is. We could see snow as low as, let's say, 1,500 feet on first thing on Friday morning. Now it's not going to be a lot. It may only be an inch or two at those lower elevations. This is going to be a relatively weak sort of event coming by, but it is going to be colder. And gradually as we go through the day tomorrow, the temperatures go back up. So while we may see an inch or two of snow at 1,500 feet, in some spots maybe even 1,200 feet, something like that, first thing on Friday morning, it'll change over to rain showers as we head through the afternoon. This is Friday at 4 p.m., so another showery afternoon after some steady rain in the morning, only picking up about 1/4 of an inch of rain in the valley and inches of snow in the Sierra, and then everything dries up for the weekend. All right, for a better perspective on what it is we're expecting in terms of snow, I'm going to go to 6-hour snow accumulation. Now, bear with me here. Going to 6-hour snow accumulation because since we're going to see that change from rain to snow to rain at the lower elevations, we'll just have to see where we can capture it. All right. As you can see here, this is the snow on Mount Diablo. And as I scroll over it, it's about 2 inches, maybe 4 inches up at the summit. Let me go ahead another couple of frames. And here's where we're getting some of that snow on the west slope. But as I scroll over this, you can see it's less than an inch. It says 0.9, 0.3, 1.2, depending on how far up you go. So while we may see some snow down at those lower elevations that I mentioned, it's probably going to be pretty light and maybe just the sort of thing where you just get snow on the lawn, that sort of thing. But there are going to be lower flakes. But also keep in mind that in the higher elevations, we'll be seeing the snow come down at about 1 inch an hour for a while. So chain controls will stay up during the day on Friday, and then everything gradually dissipates. All right, let's take a look at the NAM, North American Mesoscale model, because this will get us into, nope, I'm sorry, that's the GFS. Thought it looked a little weird. All right, so this is the NAM. This is the rain, snow we're expecting tomorrow morning. Warm air advection changes the snow level, so it goes back up as we go through the day on Friday, and then everything dissipates. During the day Saturday, most areas south of Butte County are dry. There will be rain and snow showers to the north. Actually, more than showers in places like Crescent City. It'd be a steady rain. And also some snow, light snow continuing in Plumas County. This is Saturday night. And then into Sunday, this is Sunday at 5 p.m., from Butte County to the south, we are still dry. There will be some snow in the Sierra from this next system that looks relatively weak. And for that, we'll show you the GFS. There's the system Friday. There's the rain and snow north on Saturday. Get into Sunday night and Monday. Let's see, what time is this? This is Monday at 5 a.m. Nice little system, but probably only another 1/4 inch of rain. Inches of snow in the Sierra. The snow level probably around 3,500 feet again, as there'll be some cold air around. So that's Monday morning. Then everything dries up, and beyond that, we should have a couple of dry days. So, yeah, more rain and snow showers today, but it's more hit and miss for the valley. But there is the possibility of a thunderstorm this afternoon. Not windy like yesterday. And again, that snow level dropping down tonight. So, yes, for those of you at 1,500 feet, you could wake up to a little bit of snow tomorrow morning, but it's going to be just a little bit. And again, it might just be on the lawn. Let's put it this way. At 1,500 feet, 1,800 feet, I don't think you're going to be shoveling. But for those of you 3,000, 3,500 feet, you could end up with this much snow, which means you might have to shovel the sidewalk or the driveway, that sort of thing. So we're not talking about a foot of snow at 3,000. We're talking about a few inches, but it'll accumulate better than it will down at the lower elevations, let's say around that 1,500. But that'll be tomorrow morning, and then it warms up as we go through the day. So let's say you're at 1,500 feet and you wake up and it's snowing. When you get precipitation later in the day, it'll be rain. And then the next one on Sunday night, Monday, looks relatively modest, but again, it looks relatively cold again. So we could see more accumulating snow at, let's say, 3,500, maybe 3,000, something we can figure out over the next couple of days. So yeah, nice to have some active weather here as we go through the middle part of March. Drive carefully out there today. That's all I've got for you this morning. Make it a great day. I'll talk with you later.